Guys, welcome back to another video. Shang-Chi's premiere was last night, and in this video I'm going to be reacting to all of the early reviews for the movie, as well as at the end of the video giving you guys giveaway details on this Shang-Chi Funko Pop. So again, stay to the end for details on how to win this Shang-Chi Funko Pop. Before we get into it, if you guys are new in here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on so you don't miss any time I upload a video or I go live. But without wasting more time, let's get right into it, talking about these early reviews and reactions for Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is Marvel's newest movie, if you guys didn't know, comes out September 3rd, and I am beyond hyped for it. And all of these reviews are just getting me even more hype. So starting it off with Brad R. Lambert's review, and for Shang-Chi, he said Shang-Chi was absolutely incredible, stunning visuals, brilliant storytelling, and truly some of the best action and fight choreography I've seen in a long time. Simu Liu shines and will skyrocket to the top of your favorite Avenger list. I love this film at Shang-Chi. So this honestly is one of the more basic reviews. I mean, a lot of these are just basic reviews because they obviously can't say much, but overall I think this review is perfect when it comes to telling us what to look out for. Stunning visuals. I think this movie was obviously going to have some beautiful visuals. We saw the trailers. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the trailers. I would say the first official trailer where we saw the dragon underwater, that was probably the best trailer. But other than that, they've been doing a lot of marketing with TV spots and stuff like that. None of them have really been that crazy, but overall I'm still super excited for it. He also said brilliant storytelling and truly some of the best action fight choreography I've seen in a long time. I am so excited for the fight choreography. There's actually another tweet that I saw talking about action choreography in this movie, so obviously I'll bring that up later. But yeah, I'm also excited for the storytelling. Apparently it gets fairly dark in the second half, which I'm super excited to see since this is a family story. But moving on, the next review is from BD Brandon Davis from comicbook.com, and he said Shang-Chi is such a personal family story at its core, and that's when it's at its best. The third act is full of surprises, but sometimes is a little crazier than it's needed. Ultimately delivers an epic action and intimate moments to land. Big MCU stuff, can't wait to watch again. This one I want to also bring up. I replied to his tweet and I asked, how is the practical action and action choreography? That's probably the thing I'm looking forward to most. BD replied and he said, it's really a beautiful combination of both. There's clearly a lot of VFX, but the choreography and sequences where you can see the cast clearly learn these moves are super impressive and shot with a lot of style. This is why I'm super excited for this movie. As you guys know, the thing I'm looking forward to most of this movie is the action choreography and how they do a lot of this stuff practically. Almost every single review mentions the action, and obviously that's for good reason. Apparently the movie's action is absolutely awesome, but going back to his initial tweet, he did say that the third act is full of surprises, which I'm really excited for. One example of a Marvel movie where I didn't really like the third act was Black Widow. Personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of Black Widow's final act, and I think that's where a lot of Marvel movies really screw up, because they either build up so much and then they don't land the finale, or they don't build up enough and they have to rush the finale. According to all the reviews, this movie does a great job. And also, you guys might be wondering why I'm actually listening to these reviews more and I'm not doubting the reviews. Well, it's because when I was reviewing for Black Widow, every single reviewer was saying the same exact thing, but the reviews for Shang-Chi, they're actually all a lot different. They're obviously just mentioning story and then the action, but a lot of them are also mentioning specific things like the specific fight choreography, how the VFX is used. There's another one that I'll get to later, but they talk about certain scenes and they're just not being as generic with their reviews as people were being for the Black Widow reviews. That's kind of why I'm talking about these more in depth. But also I wanted to mention that Brandon did say that the ending is full of surprises, but it has a lot of crazy stuff going on, and he says it's a little bit more crazier than needed. And that's also something I'm really worried about, because I know for a fact that the finale of this movie is going to be 1,000,000% CGI heavy. Just from the shots we've seen in the trailer, we saw the dragon. Obviously, we saw the final fight where someone jumps on top of like a massive animal's back and like has a spear in their hand. And then also, obviously, like them holding the rings in that pose that's on the poster as well. There's all of those crazy scenes that have to happen in that finale scene, if I'm not mistaken. And so I do think it'll get a little bit overwhelming. Also, I'm not gonna put the video here because it is a video, but the Real Rejects, when they did their initial reaction, they did say the ending of the movie kind of feels like candy at a point, where it just feels like they're just throwing a bunch of stuff at screen that doesn't necessarily look fake, but obviously you know it's fake because it's CGI. You can't make it for real. But moving on, I'm going to be talking about Matt Ramos. You guys know Soups. I interviewed him on my podcast as well one time, and he basically said that Shang-Chi was an incredible non-stop roller coaster ride from beginning to end that brought action, comedy, and heart to the MCU like never before. Simu Liu crushed it, and I'm so excited for his future in the MCU. The ending of this movie will also leave you mind blown. Personally, I think when he's talking about the ending of the movie. I don't think he's talking about like the ending itself of the movie. I think he's more talking about the mid-credit scene and post-credit scene, because from all the other reviews, the ending was fairly lackluster, but they're saying that the mid-credit scene, the post-credit scene is absolutely insane. So, you know, stay for that if you guys are going to watch it in theaters. But so he did mention how he's excited for Simu Liu's future in the MCU, and I haven't seen a lot of other tweets just regarding his performance. So I'm excited to see what he does do. Matt didn't really talk about his performance too much, but he did say that he's excited for him in the future. I'm super excited for him in the future. He just seems really passionate about the character. He already came out and said something against the CEO of Disney, which is a big baller move for a man's movie who hasn't even come out, but I have to respect it. I think that's a really baller move. I think he's a great actor, and I think that his future in the MCU is very bright, at least according to all of these tweets. Before we move on, I do want to mention that I think Matt Ramos on TikTok said that it's a 9 out of 10. That's absolutely insane. And also, people are going to say that there's people obviously rating the movies higher because they get invited to the premiere. Obviously, that's always true. That always happens. But Matt did end up giving Black Widow around a 7 to 8 out of 10. And he's giving this one a 9 out of 10. I think it was like a 7 or 7.5. So for that reason, I think he's more honest, and you should look at his opinion a little bit better and a little bit better of a light. But moving on to Scott Menzel, this is another case that kind of rides off of what Matt was saying, or Matt's whole situation, because Scott Menzel gave Black Widow a really bad score. He was not the biggest fan of the movie at all, but he really loved this one. And let's look at his review. He did say Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings earns the title of the best superhero film of 2021 so far. The action scenes are simply spectacular, especially the train and skyscraper scene. Best martial arts I've seen in a long time. Simu Liu and Awkwafina are terrific. Hashtag Shang-Chi. So he said this is one of the best superhero movies of it is the best superhero movie of 2021. That means it has to top the Suicide Squad. I'm not gonna say it has to top Black Widow, because Black Widow was like a 7 out of 10 for me as well, but the Suicide Squad was a 9 out of 10 for me. It's in my top 10 superhero movies of all time. I love the Suicide Squad. I don't know if this one will top it, but the fact that Scott Menzel, the man who gave Black Widow a 7 out of 10 and got early access to it, and he said 7 out of 10 right away, or like he didn't say 7 out of 10, but he said it was a bad movie right out of the gate. Like, he didn't wait for press stuff to release. Like, right when he was able to talk, he said it wasn't a good movie. He's not afraid of what Disney has to say to him, obviously, from his review. And this one, if he's being honest about it, I mean, I'm really hyped, because he said best superhero movie of 2021. So the final review I want to look at is from Drew Taylor. He says Shang-Chi is an absolute triumph, unexpectedly spiritual and emotionally complex, with some of the very best action in the MCU. Simu Liu is your new favorite Avenger, and the movie's myriad influences, everything from Jackie Chan to Heizo Miyazuki, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, pays off big time. Astounding. Now, this one really gets me excited, because a lot of people were saying, obviously, the action's great, the action's cool, but not a lot of people have been saying the best action in the MCU. And in my opinion, the Winter Soldier has the best action in the MCU, and it'll be really hard to beat for me. But I do love martial arts. I love martial arts movies and that type of choreography. So if this movie has a lot of that and doesn't obviously 100% rely on CGI and stunt doubles and all that kind of stuff, which according to Brandon Davis's tweet, it doesn't. I think that if this movie can really perfect the camera work while the fights are happening, it could really surpass the Winter Soldier. And nevertheless, I'm super excited for this movie, just because not only all these reviews, but just people in general have been saying it's a phenomenal movie. The action's great, and that's what honestly I'm going there for. But to end off this video, I'm going to be announcing giveaway details for this Shang-Chi Funko Pop. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway for the Shang-Chi Funko Pop is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. I'll be announcing the giveaway winner for my Shang-Chi Funko Pop on the YouTube video for my spoiler-free review for Shang-Chi. So make sure you watch it if you want to enter the giveaway. And yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I'm super hyped for Shang-Chi, and let me know why you guys are hyped for Shang-Chi in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.